Wait, I'm sitting here trying to do math in my head. Is this the last show in February? How many days does
Yeah.
February have? 29?
28, typically, not always.
28. So last show in February.
Mhm.
Welcome, Grace. Hi.
Hi.
104.
104, episode 104, correct?
Happy Monday. I don't sound excited enough.
You don't sound excited enough, but that's okay. I mean, it's kind of your thing. So we've all accepted it by now. And we just know that you're excited on the inside. You're excited on the inside, Eric. It's fine.
You say so. I don't think there's much excitement in there. All right. We're on the running mullet right now.
We are.
We're about to start the show.
Mm-hmm. We've already started.
Well, I mean, it doesn't officially start till I hit that song. This is all like,
gotcha.
This is all stuff like we forget that people are listening type of thing.
Yeah. I always do we scare off the new people? Are they like, I'm not listening to this?
Yeah, you want to hear something really cool?
What's that?
Since this isn't the show starting yet, I'm going to tell you this like we're not even live because I don't care. So I'm at a meet down in at Bucknell this past weekend, an indoor track meet with Lauren. Mm-hmm. And long story short, I was introduced to a couple, and they introduced me to their son, and it was Cy Haight. Cy won the 8-mile frozen snot, and they're like, thank you so much for mentioning him on your podcast. A friend of ours sent me the link and said to listen in because he was mentioned on it. I'm like, yes, this is why we do the show. I have no idea who the friend was, but like, it's crazy. I say this all the time, but like, I always wonder like how big our little audience is, but like, it gets out there.
Yeah.
So anyway, hopefully I told him I wanted him on the show. I told his parents I wanted him on the show. Hopefully they will take me up on that and we can talk to him. He's 15 and he loves trail running. He is a track runner and a cross country, obviously in school, but his heart lays in the trail running scene. And from what I saw at First and Snot, he is a very gifted young individual. So I'm excited to hopefully have him on the show in the very near future.
That's awesome.
Right. So let's get started on this podcast thing. What do you say?
Okie doke.
You ready? All right.
Yeah.
Grace, we're going to play a fun game tonight that will be interesting and hopefully not a bore. Let's get it started on episode 104. I'm Eric, Idiot Runner Kosek.
And I'm Grace, Hot Pants Langheim. Eric is all business in the front of the pack, and I am all about the party in the back.
That's right, business up front and party in the back. Together, we are the Running Mullet.
And we are going to talk about every aspect of running, the podium to the DNF and everything in between.
If you are a runner, this show is for you. Now sit back, get out your foam roller, and enjoy the party. Oh, Grace. Grace, before we get started, I have one little, it's very useful nugget of information, nugget of a fact for you.
A fact or a nugget? A nugget of a fact?
It's a nugget with a little fact inside, kind of like a fortune cookie.
A fact inside of a nugget?
Yeah.
A nug? A nuggie? Or a nugget?
Nug fact.
A nug fact. Got it. Yeah. Okay, ready.
Interesting fact. Most people think that a T-Rex can't clap because they have short arms. But really, it's because they're dead.
You stole that from Ben Mazer.
Did he use that already?
Yeah, he did.
I don't care. Actually, I didn't steal it from him. I just stole it from something on Facebook, but it made me giggle when I was scrolling today.
It made me giggle too. It was a good one. I'm sure other people giggled. It was a good one.
I don't know why it's so kind of funny to me, but it was just, it hit the right spot, you know?
Yeah.
Dang it, Ben. Ben has all the good stuff.
He's on top of it.
All right. Whew. Well, how was your weekend there, Grace?
Oh my gosh. My weekend was good. I volunteered at a race on Saturday, and I've said this before, I haven't said it in a while, but if you're a runner, doesn't matter what distance you run or what type of running you like, I highly recommend that within your year you set a goal for yourself to volunteer at a race, do either some trail work or some roadside cleanup, pace somebody, crew somebody. It's so uplifting. And so I did some volunteering on Saturday, and that was super fun. And then Sunday I ran the Squirrely Tail Trail 1, the half marathon, and it was a good day. It was a good day. I ran. Why are you walking away from me? Where are you going?
I didn't look good enough. If I turn that light off, I look good. I look gooder.
You do look gooder.
Sorry, I'm listening. You ran the Squirrely
Trail. I ran good, Eric.
Why didn't you run great?
I ran great. I did. Don't you hate it when you run like your best race at that particular course? And it's like, I feel like I'm done. Like I'm never going to run faster than that at that course.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh my gosh.
It felt good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Why did Ben Mazer have to be watching the beginning of the show?
He's tuned in I bet he tuned in just to see if you stole any of his jokes, and you did. So there we go.
I feel like he's always watching me, like in a creepy way or something.
Yeah, that sounds like Ben. Hey, how was your weekend?
Oh man, my weekend was good. Weekends, I'm tired of this 2-day weekend stuff because it's dumb. I'm all excited come Friday afternoon. I'm like actually cheery and positive. Mm-hmm. And then before I know it, I blink my eye and it's Sunday evening and I'm pouty and naked on the couch because it's Sunday afternoon.
Ew.
That's what I do.
Well, you get to hang out with us on Monday night. So
yeah, I hate Mondays until now though.
And thankfully you wear clothing during this.
Yeah. But yeah, Lauren had a last indoor track meet on Saturday, and she ran very well. And then Sunday I did a hamster wheel around the track again. A very good, happy run it was a confidence booster for me. So I'm feeling amazing. So yeah, that was my weekend.
Oh, we both had confidence boosters. We are feeling pumped. We're feeling good.
I'm really enjoying my tea tonight, so that puts me in a great mood. I'm super cheerful and gleeful.
I love it.
So because I'm so cheerful and gleeful, I feel like we should play like kind of a game.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Have you heard of Would You Rather? Do you know what this is?
Oh yeah. I mean, it can get dirty. Are we getting dirty?
We're not getting, muddy maybe.
Oh. We're doing Would You Rather for Runners Edition, right?
Yes. I know about Would You Rather because it's comes from one of the greatest podcasts of all time, which is Comedy Bang Bang. That's been around for a long, long time. It's not a running podcast, but it's the one that I've been listening to for the longest. And it's one of the longest running podcasts out there. Longest running, but not for running. And
we're not done yet, Grace. We're going to take that title.
Sure. And they do Would You Rather on that show, which is super fun. That's all like comedians, so we're not going to be as funny as them. It's fine. But I thought we could do our own little Would You Rather discuss. And I can't wait to see comments coming in also from the chat. So I know we have people watching live right now. I want to see your Would You Rathers and also your commentary to see if we are correct. So
Wait, you can't just come out and make the rules and do everything. Are we going back and forth, you and I? Are you just hammering all yours at me, or how are we doing this?
One at a time.
Okay.
We'll start with something easy.
Since this was your idea, I'll give you the choice, the coin flip of deciding who goes first then.
Okay. Go ahead.
You want me to read or answer?
I want to read first. There's no coin. I have no coin. If you're going to coin flip, then you have to produce.
No, I said you win the coin flip. I'm giving it to you.
Oh, I win the coin flip.
Then I can choose. All right, just read your. All right, let's go.
I get to ask. Okay. All right.
Hold on. I want viewers to answer these too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So this is an easy one to start us off. Would you rather race up and down the steepest hill you've ever seen for 24 hours or run on a treadmill for 24 hours?
Oh, for me, hands down, up and down.
Up and down? Why?
Because I enjoy up and down. Treadmill doesn't excite me.
I'm going to go with treadmill.
I'm
going to go with treadmill, and here's why: is because treadmill does not excite me. And that's what intrigues me about it, is that sounds terrible and I've never done it before. And
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. This is really good. This is a leeway into the way I'm feeling about a 24-hour track race I have coming up. Is I signed up because of the exact same reasons you're saying, because it sounds horrible and it scares me. But what's exciting, what's making me super, super excited is I'm actually liking spending a couple hours on the track right now. And it's not 24 hours, but man, it's not as bad as I thought it was. And I think my brain is going to handle it better than I thought it is going to. So it's exciting. I'm very excited. Sorry, didn't mean to go off on a side tangent.
That's perfect. That's exactly what I hoped for. And I kind of feel the same way. I remember going for some runs before, like in the rain, and thinking like someday I'm going to be glad that I did this. And I remember I was doing this challenge and I wanted to do it this one particular weekend, but it ended up being really windy, like 60 mile per hour winds. And I'm like, I'm going to go out and do it anyway, because I hate running in the wind. And I'm so glad that I did it, because now it just doesn't bother me as much. Like I like desensitizing myself to those things that I think are hard and challenging and trying to get over it, like signing up for Conquer the Wall. It's these 2-mile road loops. Well, everybody knows I'm not much of a road runner. And I'm like, well, that's what I want to sign up for, is going around in circles for 47 hours,
Yeah. And one quick thing before we move on, I want to add to that, as a coach, and I will be the first to say, I'm not the greatest at eating my own recipes or whatever you want to say, but as a coach, it's very, very important to go outside when it's miserable out. When you're training for a race or your upcoming big A goal race, because you're not going to get the best physical performance out there, but it mentally makes you stronger, so that when life sucks during a race, whether it's a 5K or a 100-miler, you're going to have that in your head as fuel for, well, I already did this hard thing. Possibly you can use that to stay positive. Becky and I just had this conversation the other night. We all know this time of year, especially, I don't know about you, Grace, but up here, the weather finally broke today, but we were getting choked out of every running possibility we could, whether it's dirt roads, trails, or everything. The weather was totally limiting us on what we could possibly do at all. And it got close to being able, like, the best we can do is go outside and power hike something with spikes on. Right. But it's freezing and it's windy. And that's part of the reason I try to go out every single morning, even all winter, because it sucks. The worst part is getting out the door, but it hardens your brain.
Yeah. It's mental toughness training. And you know, when Callie and I went to do Wild Goose, which was in a tropical storm, the both of us were like, thankfully we run in bad weather because we finished, and a lot of people didn't. And I think part of it was just the mental part of it, you know?
Yep. All right. We're spending way too much time on one.
Love it. Wait, before we move on, comments in the chat. Hill, up and down the hills, steepest hill, everybody's saying hills.
Nobody
agrees with you. I think you won that one. What do you got? What's your first one?
All right. Let's pick a arbitrary race distance. Let's just go with a trail 10K race.
I like it.
Would you rather run naked or blind?
Naked.
Didn't even have to think. Wow. I'm gonna say the same thing because blind would hurt a lot. You'd go off course.
That would take so long because I would be very tentative. You know, I would just be very cautious the whole because I don't want to fall and run into people and run.
So running naked, you don't care about hurting any special parts. No. You would just send it.
Yeah, I'd be fine.
Huh. I mean, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Never mind. I was gonna say if everybody's running naked, I definitely don't want to be blind, but
maybe yeah. That one's an easy one. Yeah, definitely naked. And it looks like everybody in the chat is agreeing with the both of us. We both win this one. Naked. Everybody. But that sounds awful.
Everybody is naked in the chat. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. My next one, would you, let's keep on with the 10K, but make it a road race. 10K road race, would you rather race in clown shoes or wear a 3-piece suit while running? And by the way, it's 80 degrees out.
I mean, me being competitive and wanting to watch my pace and run fast, I'm going with the 3-piece suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just hydrate.
I might go with the clown shoes, you know, because I don't like, you know, I usually, I don't wear a whole lot when I run. And like I did my first snowshoe run a few weeks ago, like a month ago, and it wasn't that bad. And I think it's partially because my hips are very wide. So my legs just naturally run wide, and snowshoes were not that uncomfortable. Yeah.
Got a mix of people saying, some say clown shoes, some say 3-piece suit. Oh, interesting.
I'm going to go with the clown shoes. Yeah. I'm going to go clown shoes with my short shorts and a sports bra, you know, but giant clown shoes.
I'm glad Chris Young wanted to clarify how naked I was talking, whether I meant shoes or no shoes, because obviously shoes when you're naked is really important.
Yeah. Well, I would still choose naked even if it was no shoes, but yeah.
All right. Next one.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter the distance, but you have no fueling options as far as nutrition, but these two. Would you rather fuel with crunchy beetles or slimy earthworms?
Ooh, boy, that's hard.
No, it's crunchy or slimy. Not hard.
I'm going to go with crunchy beetles.
Ooh, why? You like the texture or what?
Yeah, I think the texture would be better.
But the worms will slide right down.
Oh, no, that sounds terrible. Like I don't do slimy stuff. I don't do like oysters. I don't do any seafood actually. None at all.
Oh, sorry. Beetles all day, crunchy beetles, worms. Yeah. Becky says worms, crunchy beetles. Boy, I'm surprised. A lot of like the crunchiness.
It's a mix.
I'll just not eat.
Yeah. No, you don't get that option. No. You have to.
All right.
That's too easy. Okay. Yeah. Mine?
Yeah.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would you rather have a never-ending wedgie or your shorts constantly falling down?
That's a good one. Both are super annoying. I've been there
Yes.
in both situations.
Yep.
I'm going to go with falling down because the wedgie is going to cause chafing more than likely because I like to run far, possibly. So yeah, the falling down is just, yeah, I'll deal with it.
I'm going to go with the wedgie, which is very close to what I deal with already. So shorts falling down, that one bothers me. And like when you're wearing the leggings and the crotch starts to like lower, like I cannot stand that. That's not happening. Definitely.
I know what you're talking about.
I would rather wedge it right up there. Wedgie all the way.
A lot of wedgies are coming in. A lot of falling down are coming in.
Yep.
Chris Young says let the shorts go. It'd be closer. Perfect.
That was a good mix between the two.
All right, it's my turn now.
Okay.
And you have to put yourself, I want you to close your eyes and visualize where I'm at here. So you're late in a race and your legs are tired, you're on a trail, and you trip over a rock. But you don't fall, you stumble, you catch yourself. So would you rather, this one hits home for me, but would you rather trip over a rock and use every muscle in your body to prevent yourself from falling, or burn your mouth with a hot drink?
Ooh. Can I open my eyes now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm naked. Oh. No.
I'm gonna go with. Do I only burn my mouth once with a hot drink versus the one
that burn? Like, it's a good burn. You're gonna feel that for a couple days, and it's gonna be annoying. Those that don't understand what it's like to catch yourself and use every muscle in your body when you're tired.
I know what you mean.
I mean, I let out a bunch of words that start with F every time. Yeah. Like I hate it. But I'm gonna go with
burning my mouth.
Interesting. I would too. You'd rather burn your mouth? Wait, what's again? You would rather burn your mouth. I would totally agree.
Yeah. Like I get too excited about eating as it is, and I burn my mouth all the time. Like that's probably why I have a terrible sense of taste. Like I don't have a good sense of taste or a good sense of smell. Like I'll eat Spam quesadillas. Like I don't really care. And
Spamdillas. If you're gonna eat
Spamdillas,
right?
The Spamdillas, they're delicious. Like I don't have a great sense of these things to begin with, probably because I get so excited about eating that I will eat like scalding hot food all the time as it is. So that's pretty common for me.
But I too trip over rocks and catch myself all the time. So I'm on the opposite.
I do too, but there's a difference. Like what you're talking about, man, that hurts. Like it.
I just hate it. It takes everything out of me. All right, your turn.
Yeah. That was a good mix in the chat. Every muscle in the body, not fall, use every muscle. At what mile does this trip happen? That is a good question.
We'll just say like after, let's just say ultra distance after 26, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I'm thinking late in a race when you're just trying to keep your legs moving. And the rock, they literally start jumping up at you, I swear.
They do. Some expert fallers, hot drink, tripping stinks. Yet I do it more than I want to. So, I mean, you can get pretty good at tripping and falling. I will agree with that. Okay. Next one.
Your turn.
All right. Would you rather?
I would like to add in real quick for those viewing that my would you rathers are straight from my head and my heart. I thought of them myself. I don't know about Grace, but I'll just leave it at that. Anyway,
all of mine come from ChatGPT, for the record, because I got a busy life, and ChatGPT is more clever. I don't. You don't, because ChatGPT is more clever than I am, and I am not as clever as you, Eric.
Fair enough. I am going to start using it so I don't have to be clever at all.
You know, you gotta work smarter, not harder.
That's exactly right.
Would you rather run all of your races carrying all of your races? So everything that you're signed up for the rest of this year, carrying a giant flag or wearing inflatable arm floaties?
The floaties. I can run faster.
With your arms out like this.
Well, I guess, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Flag seems like it's obnoxious and heavy. That's why it's very awesome to see people that carry the American flag for the whole race.
Yeah. I feel like, I wonder if I could get like a good grip on a flag though. Like I could change it up a little bit. I could probably, I used to twirl baton, so I could probably like do some cool moves. I'm going to go with flag.
Yeah, but I think if you're are we talking about the American flag or just any flag?
Any flag.
You can't.
I mean, it should be an American flag just because America.
Yeah, but I think the proper way is to let it fly like this, not like draped around you like a skirt or stuff like that.
No, I wouldn't want it to touch the ground or anything like that. I'm talking about holding it like by the pole.
Right.
By the pole. But I might, under the arm, I might, have it back. I might just change it up a little bit.
Yeah. And we have somebody who carried a flag for the whole marathon. Anthony Arthur says that it's very exhausting, which I think it would be. A lot of wind resistance and things like that.
I think so too. But I kind of like the idea of that challenge. I also like the idea of the challenge of wearing floaties. So that one's a tough one.
Yeah. All right.
You go.
This one is you can take it as you will, but I was trying to think of fun ones. No, I'm just going to say it and then we'll discuss. Would you rather get new running shoes for life or free race registrations for life?
Free race registrations for life.
But here's the kicker. If you got free race registrations for life, you are going to over race. You're probably going to, yeah, you will. You're going to hurt yourself. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about all of us.
Yeah, because I don't race every race.
You're probably going to overrate. You're probably going to hurt yourself, and you probably won't run as long because everything's free. So you're going to want to do all the things.
I would definitely want free race registrations, and I don't race every race, so that would work great for me.
I guess the way it should be worded is race registrations to equal amount of free shoes that you would get in a year. I don't know.
I'm still gonna go with the races. Yeah.
Boy, I don't know. Shoes are expensive. They're every bit of expensive as races.
They are. I don't know. It just sounds more fun.
We got both coming in. Yeah, I don't know.
Like there's some races out there that are, because I do a lot of low key stuff, like some fat ass stuff that's actually free. But it gets expensive and I don't have that kind of money. Like I can run in some crappy shoes for a long time, but I want to race all the races and
Okay. Your turn.
We had a good mix coming into the chat for this one. We had shoes. We had new sneaks. Oh, it's Chad Brown's birthday. Happy birthday, Chad Brown.
He doesn't even listen anymore. Chad Brown.
He's in the chat right now.
Yeah, well, that's probably because it's his birthday and he wants everybody to look at him.
Well, maybe we should. Maybe we should all look at Chad Brown. Happy birthday, Chad Brown.
All right, go. Go with your thing. Would you rather?
All right. Would you rather run a trail race blindfolded, but you are allowed to have a guide? Okay.
Okay.
So you can have somebody who's like running, you have guides, right? Yeah. Or run a road marathon backwards, no guide.
Road marathon backwards. Just because it sounds hard and fun and stupid.
Yeah, they both sound fun and stupid. I definitely would want to do the trail race blindfolded, but with a guide, because I think it would be super fun and silly. And I would want somebody maybe like somebody probably like Laura, because she would laugh at me a lot. So that would be super fun, but I think she would give me good directions too. Like, I just think it would be a silly, fun time.
Yeah.
With a buddy.
That'd be fun.
Because you get to have a buddy.
I think
blindfolded road marathon. I mean, then you would get to run, or backwards road marathon. You would get to see the people coming at you, which would also be super fun because you could make faces at them.
Interesting.
I want to do both of these now.
Yeah, I would do both, I guess. I don't know how long I'd want to run on a trail without my eyes, but
without your eyes, you don't have to take them out. You still can have eyes.
You can't see though. Yeah. you just died at your own luck.
Kaylee probably appreciated that one.
All right. Sure. We can move on from that.
All right.
This is a really good one. This is not mine, but I stole it.
Okay.
Would you rather run by a absolutely gorgeous waterfall, like the kind that you don't need to take a picture, you can take a mental picture. If you don't know what a mental picture is, I'll explain it to you. Sometimes they're very important and you'll never lose them. Okay, sorry, I got sidetracked. Run by the most amazing waterfall or the most amazing vista.
Oh man, this is a good one. I'm gonna go vista. I love a good waterfall because I love the water and I love to listen to the water and I like to feel the water. I grew up, at least part of my years growing up was on a lake. So I really, really love water, but I prefer calm water, like a lake. A vista though, like that like big expanse that makes me feel so small and I love it.
Huh.
I like that feeling of feeling tiny and everything else is so much bigger than me and I'm insignificant. I like that.
You are insignificant.
I know. I like it. And Cliff just put this in the chat and I appreciate this too. He had said vista, they're usually tougher to get to. Like when you get to a huge vista that took a long time to get to, I mean, that's just such a cool feeling. I'm thinking of some of the stuff on like the Black Forest Trail, you know?
I mean, I understand what he's saying, but the right waterfalls are just as hard to get to.
I agree. I think one of the most frustrating vistas is High Knob because you get all the way up, which is a tough climb up to High Knob, and then you see there's just a parking lot and you could have driven there.
Yeah.
But I also love High Knob for that reason, which we all know is Pine Knob.
Yeah, and no matter what anybody says, the vistas are always better when you run or walk up to them, not drive the vehicle.
Yeah, the vistas and the waterfalls, both of them.
Cool. This is by far the most comments we've gotten on any of our 104 shows. So that's amazing. Maybe we should do more interactive stuff. I like this a lot.
These are important things that we are figuring out right now. That's the thing.
A good mix of both vistas and waterfalls. Kaylee had a good point. She said, like, is it dark and there are stars at the vista? No, we're just talking about a daylight vista. But yeah, she's right. Like different times of day changes the atmosphere.
Sunset vista?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Sunset vista.
Next question. Don't get stuck on the sunset vista.
Okay. All right. Would you rather, this one is tough. Would you rather run a 100-mile race with a pebble, one singular pebble in one of your shoes?
Like I can't take it out. I have to keep it in there.
You have to keep it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Or a 50-mile race and your shoes and socks are soaking wet the entire time.
That's soaking wet for me. Because I've run several long things with soaking wet shoes and socks, and it hasn't really affected me as long as my feet stay warm. Yeah. But yeah, that is a good one. That pebble, man, that gets to you, and that could cause a blister or a cut or just make you get really negative really fast?
I would usually say the wet socks and shoes, but then after I ran Bandera, like I had pebbles in my shoes most, if not all of the race. And I was good. Like I didn't really, it didn't really bother me. It was nice not having wet feet the whole time and the squeaky noises and everything. I didn't get any blisters or anything like that. So I'd go with the singular pebble. Usually like there's enough room at the front of my shoe that if it just stays up there, like I can manage.
Yeah, I don't think that's fair to be able to say that the pebble's got to stay in the most annoying spot it could be in if we're doing this game. Because I know what you mean. Like if you can get it up there, then it has a nice little happy pocket to sit in. It's not even a nuisance, but it's got to stay at the ball of your foot somewhere.
No, because the wet socks and shoes, I mean, that's the same way. Like you can totally manage that for a 50 miler. That's not that bad.
All right. A lot of wet shoes coming in, wet socks and shoes, I think more than pebbles. But
I think the wet socks and shoes beat it for that one, but there were a couple of pebbles in there. Yeah.
All right. This one, little description of what I'm thinking is we all run because we enjoy it, but we all run for different reasons and purposes too, also to help our mental health, our physical health, everything. Sometimes we need to go on runs when we're confused, when we're indecisive, when we're angry, and when we're sad. Sometimes we have to go on runs when we're angry, sad, confused, and indecisive. Anyway, which run is better? Running when you're angry or running when you're sad? Which run would make you feel better? I'm talking to you only because everybody's going to have their opinions. But which one? What one would running help the most for you, or is it just too equal?
Yeah, that's pretty close. I think the one that is the most healing is the run that is when I'm sad.
I would agree.
Yeah, that can be very healing for me, where if I'm irritated, like I can just kind of work through that in my normal everyday. You know what I mean? If I don't go for a run, that's cool. I'll deal with it and I'll get over it pretty quickly. I don't really stay angry that much.
Yeah. When I'm angry and I run, I tend to think about it, the reason I'm angry the whole time I'm running. And I would say it tends to, for lack of a better word, ruin the run for me. Where when I'm sad, I can be sad the whole time, but I feel not as sad when I'm done because I just went for a run. So I would say sad for myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when I'm angry when I run, I just think about how pissed off I am. But when I'm sad when I run, I tend to take in the things around me more. Like I tend to think more about my feet and the ground and the trees and the air and the smells. Like I just kind of lose myself in the run, and I feel my breathing and all my feels. And so it's a lot more, that one is more therapeutic for me, and I feel better when I'm at the end of it. There have been some runs where like I was very sad at the beginning, and then I take like a little ball of sadness while I'm running, like I form it into a ball and then I place it somewhere during the run, and then that's where it stays. And like sometimes
I picked up your ball once before. Yeah, and I got to tell you, I appreciate it if you stop littering.
You know, sometimes it's art and it's an addition.
No, that's a good point. That's a good way of looking at feeling and dealing with it during the run, I guess. Probably easier said than done, but I like the idea of it.
Yeah, I had a run that I did. This is just an example. I had a run that I did. It was after my brother's dad passed away, and he was just a very nice man to everybody, and me as well, even though it was my brother's dad. And after he passed away, I went for a run by myself, and I put all those feelings into a little ball, and they exist on the trail. It's a trail that I go to pretty often whenever I want to think about him and just remember him. I go past it on the trail. And I'm like, hey, Mac, how you doing? And that's where those feelings live. And then I don't have to be sad about it anymore because it just lives there. That's why I like it. Yeah. We had some good comments in the chat for this one. Definitely very equal because running helps process all the emotions. Probs when I'm sad. Sad running always wipes away a sad day. If I'm angry, I'm not likely to let it negatively affect my run, I think. More likely. I love Joey. I'm loud and obnoxious. If you know, you know, she said. So running when I'm angry really helps me get it out. That's great, Joey. So we had some good comments in the chat for that one.
Good.
That was a good one. You ready for mine?
Yeah.
Would you rather have a mullet that grows longer every race or have to wear a tutu for every race?
I'll wear the tutu all day long. I don't really care what I look like.
Oh, I would totally do the mullet.
It grows longer every race. What are you going to do when you start tripping over it? Or is that not what you meant? That's what I'm thinking. If it grows longer every race, well, then you got to
braid it. Dreadlocks. Keith has dreadlocks. I can have some.
You could cut your hair into a mullet right now.
That would look pretty sweet.
Yeah, it would.
We had some, it's a mixture. It's a mixture in the chat. Tutu, mullet. It's a little bit of everything.
All right. I got my last one here.
Can I just mention, I love that Meg and Tom are in the chat because they are a couple.
They're watching separately.
And they must be watching separately and chatting separately. So I don't know what the setup is. I don't know if they're in the same room
probably
with
on
each other.
Cellular devices. That's great though. That's great.
But they must be. I don't know how that's working out for them with sound and things like that.
I don't know, but I'm absolutely loving the show and all the people involved. All right, this is my last one, and this is Becky's addition to the list, and it's a good one, I think, if you understand it or if you've been in the situation. So, would you rather get stuck running behind a runner with bear bells on their shoes, or whose water sloshes around? And if you're a slosher, I'm sorry for offending you, but I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I love you to death. You're still my friend.
Right.
I can't stand it. Get the air out.
That's right.
So, what's your answer going to be? So quick side tangent. When I ran Tahoe 200 many years ago at this point, a person from out in California volunteered to pace me. And this was amazing. I'm still friends with her. And but she was going to wear bear bells because there are bears out there in Tahoe. Yeah. She's going to wear bear bells on her shoes. And she asked me, I was like what I thought. I'm like, oh my God, I can't have this pacer who's 100 some miles in wearing bear bells on her shoes. I'm going to lose my marbles. So I nicely talked her out of it, and she didn't, but I was so worried. So anyway, what would you choose?
Yeah, that one is tough. I've been in both situations. The bear bells was not as terrible as I thought it was going to be. So there's a guy who runs Algonquin. Actually, I didn't see him this year. I'm sure he was there, but he's called the Goat Man. So the Goat Man, he runs this 50K that I run every year, and he runs in a full goat costume for 50K, and he runs with bells. And I ended up running alongside him for a little bit. And then we just got to chit chat, and he was such a nice guy. And we just had this great conversation. And eventually the bells did tune out, and I didn't really notice it. But I feel like with the water, I would want to like stop and give them a tutorial. Like that's definitely how I feel when it happens.
Right.
I want to stop and be like, let me show you the way, because there was a time when I didn't understand, and now I know better.
Me too. I remember when I first got into running, I had the whole backpack bladder thing. And a lot of people use bladders still. There's nothing wrong with a bladder on your back. I prefer the bottles up front, but that's just my personal preference. But somebody told me about how you could tip it over and suck the air out. I'm like, that is the most common sense, genius thing I've ever heard. Like, and I didn't know it at the time. I didn't even think about it. I'm like, that's genius.
Yep. Yeah. And nobody teaches you this stuff in the beginning. Like when I first started doing ultras, it's almost 10 years to the date. I didn't know any of these things, and I didn't know anybody who was running them. So nobody taught me these things. And I'm sure I annoyed people in the beginning. We had some good comments in the chat. Water, because my brain will eventually tune it all out and go numb anyway. It was from Kaylee. Becky did say neither, even though it was her question, which I love. Jeff said bear bells, at least that might be helpful at some point. Sloshing solves nothing. Like maybe you can make a little song out of the bear bells. Meg said I ran a 7-miler with, I'm assuming behind somebody with a set of keys in her pack. I wanted to push her over. A little violent, totally okay. Acceptable. Bells, my own sloshing bothers me. Tough one, but are equally annoying. But I'm thinking the sloshing water would be less offensive to my ears than the bear bell, says Schaefer. And Joey said I put ice cubes in my hydration pack once, and it made me thirsty for mixed drinks until they melted and stopped making that wonderful shaker noise. Schaefer said I put bells in my beard for Tame the Tower 10-miler, and I annoyed the hell out of myself.
Oh, man. That's great. All
All
right, Grace. We're getting long. I'm starting to yawn. You have one more? You have one more? We good?
That's it. I think we left it on a good note. I think we solved a lot of problems here. I think we now know is the best way to run is with a mullet in a tutu with some bear bells.
Yep, exactly. That was great. If you're listening and you have any other ideas for shows that are interactive as this one, let's keep doing it. I would like to do something like this again. This is good.
I'll ask ChatGPT. Let's see what it says.
Now, this was your idea to do the would you rather type of episode?
Guess where I got the idea from? Guess where I got the idea?
What do you do by yourself these days? Anything? Like, does ChatGPT run for you?
No. Thankfully. But it gives me, I have the time to go run because ChatGPT takes care of other things.
It's good stuff. But honestly, Grace, I've had enough of your face. That rhymes, and it makes it even better.
Yeah.
So I think we should pick this up next week on another show. Give me that full week break from your face piece there.
I agree. I can be a little much. So
yeah. But that was a great show. I very much appreciate everybody tuning in and spending the time to answer these silly questions. I don't know if we helped anybody in their running, but that doesn't matter.
Somebody out there who is listening to this the next day in podcast form is having a great run, I'm sure. Good job. Keep going.
And I want to add, if you think of any really, really good ones, would you rather good ones that are running related, go over to the Running Mullet on Facebook and add it to a post or something, because I want to read them.
Yeah. All right.
All right, fine. I guess you gotta watch the show live. If you don't, you're dead to me.
Oh my gosh.
Kidding. Thank you for tuning in live. If you can't tune in live, then join us.
Then it's totally okay, and we still love you.
We support you a little bit, although, yeah. You're not my best friend. Tune in every Monday at 7:30. If you can't, then watch it on the podcast on Apple or Spotify or anywhere else that you get your podcast in podcast form.
Yep.
And tell your friends, because we like new people, especially ones that tune in live.
Yeah. Yeah. And we'll do it again next week. We'll do something next week.
Yeah, we'll be back next Monday for 105, on our way to 200, just a few more. And race season is coming. You look like a pirate right now. Race season is coming quickly, which is going to tie up a lot of our episodes. But right now we're just in the middle of fun stuff and keeping that ball rolling. So
yeah.
All right. Thanks. You have anything to say, Grace, or are you just going to play with your...
I'm just listening to the sweet sounds of your voice after you said you're ready to wrap it up, and now you just keep talking.
All right, whatever. Now you have my whole family laughing.
I love it when I can hear the girls in the background. Hi, guys.
All right. They don't want to talk to you. They said they're done with the show. We'll see you next week, everybody. Take us out, Grace.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good weekend. You're awesome. You're amazing. I'm so glad you listened. Bye.